We're going to talk about the history of Grace Barker and the Willows. You have such a focus on family here, and I think when people hear about the history, they'll understand why.
Yes, Grace Barker was actually a real person. That's usually the first thing that people ask me. She was a visiting nurse in Warren who actually lived right in that house over there. My mother grew up as a next-door neighbor, and she always had a deep respect for Grace and her caring profession. And when Grace died, unfortunately very prematurely, she was very young, she left my mother funds to finish her nursing career, which in the 1950s, my mother was in the process of getting her certificate at the Truesdale Hospital School of Nursing, which is where Grace had gone. My mother, in her nursing career, had always loved working with the elderly. For whatever reason, she had spent a lot of time working in various nursing homes in the area. And quite honestly, it was in working in those areas that she decided that she'd like to give it a go herself. So when she met my father, who had emigrated from the Azores Islands in the late 1950s, she could think of nothing better than to open her own nursing home. So they built the nursing home in 1966, and I literally grew up there. But when I decided to pursue a career in nursing, I really didn't think that long-term care was going to be something that I'd have an interest in. My first love was really labor and delivery and midwifery.
Okay.
But after
the other end.
Yes, from one extreme to the other. At the time, I was at the University of Connecticut Health Center, and the University of Connecticut had a Master of Business Administration program that specialized in long-term care, which in the early 90s was really not heard of in the region. So I decided, well, you know, in case I ever decide to go back, and if I have an interest in the nursing home, at least I would have the credentials to be able to work there.
Right.
So I did. So I finished the program, and I moved back home, and I met my husband, who had an interest in business, and we met, and he loved it, and I loved it. I absolutely love being with the elderly population. It is truly a pleasure to be able to serve this population who have done so much for so many people, and I feel as though it's a privilege to be able to afford them at least a fraction of, I'm sure, some of the care that they've been doing for their long lives. And if I can do it, and if I can do it well, then it's a wonderful life's work. And I think that's what makes us so special, is we have a really unique entity in both the Willows and Grace Barker. And we're happy to do it. We enjoy doing it.
It's not just a family business, it's a family passion.
Yes, yes, very much.
Thank you, Mary Beth.
Thank you.